Yeah? Yay! Good evening, or actually, to be truthful, good afternoon, because if you're watching this, it means that my attempts at going live didn't work, and this is the backup. I've got a new interface and some whizzy new software, and it really doesn't want to play nice with Facebook Live. So I've done this as a backup. You might not be seeing this because it may succeed. Probably won't. So I'm going to do some songs tonight. They're all mine. So you may have heard them before. Some of these I haven't heard for a long time. This first one is one I wrote a while back, and it's called The Company's Tomorrow. We'll make things here. Iron and steel used to make things here. Pistons and wheels, well, they made them here. In the factories around. And my old man worked in the factories where Tesco's now stands. Sweat on his brow and oil on his hands, till they closed the factory down. They said the company's tomorrow. They overseas where labor's cheap. They said they did it with great sorrow. Ah, but they went ahead and did it, and they threw them on the heap. I build things here. Liners and ferries, well, they build them here. Tugboats and wherries, well, they built them here. On the Tyne and on the Clyde. And fathers and sons, they'd weld and rivet in the rain and the sun, till the bosses said the deal was done. On the day the shipyard died, they said the company's tomorrow. They overseas where labor is cheap. They said they did it with great sorrow. Ah, but they went ahead and did it, and they threw them on the heap. I'm mining things here. In the days of old, they used to mine things here. Copper, coal, well, they mined them here. In the Rhondda and the Dales. Then out of spite, one woman took away the union's might. The whole damn industry closed overnight. They ripped the heart from Wales. They said they'd get their coal tomorrow from overseas where labor's cheap. They said they did it with great sorrow. Ah, but they went ahead and did it. They threw them on the slag heap, threw them on the slag heap. And no one makes things here. We just stack shelves or punch computers here. Or we sell coffee to commuters here. And we watch the days go by. And we don't build things here. Iron and steel, no, we don't build things here. Pretty soon there'll be no skills here. They can't be outsourced to Mumbai. Company's Tomorrow. How we don't make things anymore. And evidently we just sold our big computer chip designer and manufacturer to China, and then they've just sold it to an American hedge fund. There you go. That's our industry. Here's another one. I promise you it will get lighter later. If there's anyone there of a religious bent, or if you're religious and bent, now might be a good time to go and put the kettle on. This is a song I wrote a few years back when a friend of mine sent me a meme, as I believe young people call them, internet meme, which had a picture of the Bible, and across it was written, "Proof that God exists." And then next to it was a Roger Hargreaves book of Mr. Happy, which said, "Proof that Mr. Happy exists." And I thought, what a great subject for a song. So this is called The Book of Mr. Happy. The other day I had a pair of Mormons passing by, asking me if I knew God who lived up in the sky. And when I asked them to produce the proof for which I look, one reached down into his case and he brought out a book and he said, "I know that God exists, 'cause it is written here." And that is when I saw the answer to my question clear. If the Bible proves that God exists, and there is no mistake, to prove that anything exists, a book is all it takes. And so the Book of Mr. Happy is the only book for me, 'cause his beliefs are right in line with my philosophy. He doesn't want my foreskin, and I don't think he believes in stoning adulterers or chopping limbs off thieves. How can a book be trusted when you see a Christian brother with a good book in his right hand and a raped child in the other? Oh, and isn't it quite shocking that a book can have the power to make a man hijack a plane, crash into a tower, or authorize the taking of a Muslim author's life, yet think it's fine Muhammad took a 9-year-old to wife? One book says that my dog's unclean, but that my cat's okay, and that I must be stoned if I should break the Sabbath day. And so the Book of Mr. Happy is the book that I shall choose. He's yellow and he's smiley and he never has the blues. And Mr. Happy doesn't care if I'm gay or straight, and he won't send me down to hell if I should masturbate a little bit. Some will tell you everything inside the Bible's true, and that will seem quite scary to you once you've read it through. Just hope the cancer of the testes doesn't lie ahead, 'cause that will mean you've got no chance of heaven when you're dead. Well, I must admit that seemed a little radical to me, but there it is all written down in Deuteronomy. Right how and after how to mark your slaves to show the world you own them, and what to do with naughty children. Stone 'em, stone 'em, stone 'em. So the Book of Mr. Happy is the one that I hold dear. He doesn't mind if I eat pork or sink a pint of beer. I don't have to burn witches or torture heretics, or think that I'll be stoned to death if I should gather sticks on Sundays. Book of Mr. Happy is the one that I hold dear. Those other books seem full of threat and superstitious fear. I'll follow Mr. Happy, I'll bring joy to everyone. If I have to choose one book, then Mr. Happy is the one that I shall choose. And come back in now, Reverend. It's safe. We live over in Murcia now, in Spain, where it's sunny, still is. But I still hanker for my days when I lived most of my life in Cornwall, where we had Cornish pasties. Now, while I was over there, I led a bit of a campaign to have real Cornish pasties. I don't know if you know, but Cornish pasties are like camembert or champagne or cognac. They're protected. It's a protected thing. A Cornish pasty has to be a certain shape. It has to contain a certain amount of meat. It can't contain anything but swede, or turnip as some people call it, and a little bit of onion and meat and potato and a bit of salt and pepper. That's it. Nothing else. That must be no carrots, certainly no carrots, to conform to be a Cornish pasty. So you can imagine my horror one day when I was walking around a well-known cut price supermarket, which shall remain nameless but is named in the song anyway, so what the hell. And well, I'll sing the song, probably the best way to do it. Dee 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 dee. Yep, I'll even put a capo on it. Wonderful here, capo. You can put it on the guitar to raise the tone, but I think it has the same effect if you clip it onto the singer. Here we go. Well, I was wandering round Lidl's just the other day to try to find a snack to take me hunger pains away. For Lidl's is the place to go for cheap and cheerful food, though the customers are scary and quite heavily tattooed. As I wandered round the crowded aisles to find a pleasant snack, I spotted all the goodies that were laid out at the back, and there were pies and there were quiches, far as the eye could see. Then I spotted Cornish pasties, I thought that's the one for me. Oh, when I picked the packet up, I saw what was inside. Well, I have to say that something deep inside my spirit died. I recall the very moment that the wind went from me sails. It was when I read the part where it said proudly, made in Wales. Well, the Cornish and the Welsh have common customs that we keep, like marrying our cousins and having sex with sheep. And male voice choirs and rugby and all of that is fine, but when they bugger up our pasties, well, they've crossed the bloody line. Well, I know a bit about the Welsh, I can tell you, because I've been. I can say the average taff knows bugger all but home cuisine. While we've got clotted cream and pasties that are famed from coast to coast, their national dish is rarebit, which is basically cheese on toast. And only some old nation that is not right in the head could cook up some old seaweed and then pretend it's bread. Well, the only thing to do with that is throw it in the bin, and they put carrots in a pasty, and that's a mortal sin. Well, there are some things in life, me boys, corrosive to the soul, like hip-hop and X-Factor and Cheryl's sodding coal. But the great abomination, and I think there is no doubt, is a pasty that is made by taffs and sold by people of Germanic origin we mustn't call crowds. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.